The movie begins in a glam and very pink bedroom. Paget awakens, removes her dentures, and starts preparing for the day, beginning with her makeup routine. Afterward, she returns to bed and switches on a ring light on her nightstand. She grabs her phone to initiate a live stream, creating the illusion that she just woke up. Paget continues this facade, pretending to lead a picture-perfect life. She sets her phone on the dresser and conducts an early morning Q&A session, offering beauty tips and subtly promoting various beauty products. Afterward, she is finally ready to head to school. However, when she leaves her stylish pink room, she steps into the narrow corridor of an average-looking house. Paget greets her mother, a nurse, who shares details about her night shift and inquires if Paget knows how a bill was paid. Paget replies that she noticed the bill on the counter and took care of it. She also joyfully opens her mail, revealing a check for $3,000. This money is a result of her influencer career and brand endorsements, allowing her to maintain the facade of living in an upscale house. The scene shifts to Paget heading to a fancy apartment building where her two best friends, Alden and Quinn, pick her up in a convertible. They engage in gossip as they continue their journey. In the next scene, we are introduced to Cameron, an edgy guy who attends the same school as Paget. He is driving to school with his younger sister, who, like others in the movie, has a modern name. Cameron teases Bryn for listening to pop music, considering it lame and not real music. At school, we delve into Paget's influencer and aspiring hip-hop artist boyfriend, Jordan Vandrenen, as he creates a video. The scene also shifts to Cameron, sitting with his only friend in school, Nisha, who is another misfit. They engage in conversation, and when Bryn passes by, Cameron attempts to embarrass her with a tasteless joke about laxatives, fulfilling his role as a protective older brother. In the following scene, Paget plans to surprise her boyfriend with homemade croquembouche while her friends start a livestream for her. She shares her intentions with her followers and steps into Jordan's trailer. To her shock, she discovers Jordan making out with one of his backup dancers. This dancer dares to introduce herself to Paget and shake her hand. Paget becomes furious, throwing the croquembouche at Jordan and streaming the entire scene. Alden captures it all on camera without intervening. Throughout the school and beyond, various people witness this dramatic scene. Meanwhile, Paget screams about how Jordan had warned her to stay away from the set. She explains that she made the croquembouche with almond flour to prevent Jordan from experiencing digestive issues during his video. Paget angrily declares their relationship over, and her friends finally draw her attention to the fact that she is still alive. Horrified, Paget stares at the camera, her mascara smeared with tears and snot, before snatching the phone from Alden's hands. The next day, Paget is still in bed and has no intention of going to school. Her mom enters with a cereal she used to enjoy as a child, offering comforting words about the difficulties of breakups. Paget responds, mentioning that it's not just the breakup but also the humiliation in front of her followers. Quinn calls to check on Paget and offer her comfort. Paget comments that at least now the whole world knows what a jerk Jordan is. Quinn doesn't offer much of a response, suggesting that Paget should check online. Paget does just that and discovers that the internet has turned her into a meme, calling her bubble girl due to a large snot bubble on her nose during the livestream. Paget is horrified and humiliated by this revelation. She receives a call from Jessica Miles Torres, the CEO of Bunny Venom, the company that sponsors her. Jessica informs Paget that she is going viral in the wrong way and proceeds to revoke Paget's sponsorship, citing that mucus is not aligned with their brand. Paget desperately tries to defend herself, but Jessica insists that while redemption may be possible, it's not happening immediately. Meanwhile, at school, Quinn and Alden discuss the incident, with Alden suggesting that Paget's actions had consequences. Quinn is shocked to hear this and asks if it means Paget deserved what happened. Alden responds, saying no, but after a 4.0 GPA, a hot boyfriend, and a corporate sponsor, something had to give. Then, deciding to show up after all, people continue to make fun of Paget while Jordan gains even more attention and followers. Paget and her friends reminisce about the time when Jordan was named Jordan Dickman, was overweight, and had bad hair. Paget admits that she doesn't mean to sound conceited, but makeovers are her thing, and she transformed Jordan into what he is today. Then, someone asks why she doesn't make another Jordan. Just then, there is an announcement about the prom king and queen, and Paget gets an idea. She plans to make over an unpopular guy and turn him into prom king, proving to herself that she still has the talent and also wanting to get back at Jordan. Alden bets her that she won't be able to do it, and the three of them set off to find the perfect guy to make over. Naturally, they come across Cameron, who is taking a picture of a trash can, claiming to find it deep because there's an uneaten orange next to a textbook. Quinn looks him up online and finds only a single tweet from 2 years ago, describing him as weird, arrogant, and antisocial. Plus, he's bullied by Jordan, making him the perfect candidate. After school, Paget approaches Cameron, trying to engage in conversation, but Cameron is not interested in talking to her and is weirded out by her approach. Paget tries to hire him for the Kelly High car wash, which is also a fundraiser for the prom. He asks what the fundraiser is for, and she tells him it's for the prom. He admits that he's sad before walking away. However, Cameron's sister, Bryn, is a huge fan of Paget's, and she jumps at the opportunity to talk to her, apologizing for her brother's behavior. When Paget asks Bryn about Cameron's interests, she mentions that he's into movies, music, photography, and surprisingly, horses. He also works every morning before school at Will Rogers Park. The next day, Paget turns up at Will Rogers Park for a horse riding lesson. Cameron is surprised to see her there and tells her that he doesn't have time for a lesson as he has to shovel horse dung. Paget decides to help him so that he can be free for a lesson, not knowing what to say. Cameron lets her, and afterward, while trying to get Paget onto a horse, they both fall. Paget lands on some horse dung, and Cameron bursts out laughing. In retaliation, Paget throws some dung at him, and they both share a laugh. Later, to show her thanks for the lesson, Paget approaches Cameron and invites him to a karaoke party. Cameron is initially not interested but is eventually convinced by Nisha, who is curious to see what goes on at these parties and is enticed by the free food. At the party, Cameron and Nisha stand out, but Paget is doing well singing karaoke. However, Jordan arrives at the party with a girl he had cheated on Paget with. This makes Paget freeze, even though she has seen him at school nearly every day. Cameron, who has been watching Paget sing and appreciating how good she is, decides to jump in and sing to prevent her from getting further embarrassed. Later on, Cameron gives Paget a ride home in his truck, and Paget intentionally leaves behind her purse as an excuse to drop by later. Back at Cameron's house, Bryn badges him with questions about him and Paget, which he denies. Before Paget leaves for Cameron's house, she gets a call from Jessica, who comments on the duet video and asks who the guy is. Paget tells her that he is her next makeover project, and she is going to make him more popular than Jordan. Jessica tells her that if she succeeds, she will have the sponsorship back. She shows him the video of the two of them singing, which shocks him. Just then, Paget calls Bryn, telling her that she left something in Cameron's car, and asks if she can come around to pick it up. Cameron tries to make Bryn say no, but she invites her over. After Paget arrives, she asks Cameron if they can go for another riding lesson, and he hesitantly agrees. During the horse riding lesson, Cameron and Paget hit it off well. They talk about how they were both looking forward to leaving high school. Paget mentions how she lost her sponsorship and doesn't know what to do with herself. Cameron shares that he's looking forward to traveling the world and taking pictures. He also teases her for constantly taking pictures of herself for her followers, to which she retorts that at least she doesn't take dozens of pictures that no one will ever see. He then offers to take her to show what he does. They end up in an old but functional train station where Cameron practices street photography. Paget has never been to this sort of place, but she is fascinated. As they sit down to have some coffee, Paget asks him why he lives with his grandmother. He tells her that his father chose to live in Sweden after their mother died in a crash. We also find out that the camera Cameron uses is his mother's. After that, Paget shares how her parents are divorced and how hard her mother works as a nurse. She invites him to her friend Alden's Great Gatsby-themed birthday party. Cameron laughs at how those parties represent the shallowness of the upper class, to which Paget replies that it's kind of the appeal. Cameron agrees and asks if he can bring some people along, and Paget agrees. In the next scene, Paget takes Cameron, Nisha, and Bryn shopping for the party. There is a fun montage about it. Afterward, Paget gives Cameron a shave and a haircut. When Cameron finally steps out of his room, Nisha and Bryn are left in awe. Paget is streaming his makeover look and begins to realize how good Cameron looks, and she starts to develop a crush. They all go to Alden's party, where her friends are shocked to see Cameron. Alden comments on Paget's makeover skills, but we can see that Alden was hoping Paget would fail. Quinn and Nisha hit it off and flirt a little. Jordan is also attending the party and crosses paths with Paget. He tries to get back with her, but Paget, having seen his true colors, turns him down. After she leaves, Jordan's eye falls on Bryn, and he tries to pursue her. Bryn turns him down, and he tries to force himself onto her, causing her to run off. Bryn finds her brother in the crowd and tells him what has just happened. Cameron gets upset and confronts Jordan about it. Jordan gets ready to fight Cameron, even taking off his shirt to intimidate him. However, Cameron keeps his cool and dodges Jordan's punches. He makes one move on Jordan and flips him over. Hurt and embarrassed, Jordan takes revenge on Cameron by throwing Cameron's precious camera into the swimming pool. Cameron jumps in after it and later leaves the party. Paget runs after him to stop him, and Cameron asks her why she is suddenly so interested in him. Paget feels bad for her initial reasons for going after him but finds that she has started to grow attracted towards him in the process. That night, Paget is sitting in her room, removing her makeup, when she starts a live stream. She talks about how she's always talking about how you look and your attitude, but it is more important to see who you surround yourself with. Before she can continue, she is distracted by a text from Jessica, who tells her that she saw the viral videos from Alden's party and that she'll be calling her soon. The next day at school, Cameron finds himself the center of attention as the video of the fight between him and Jordan has gone viral. Cameron is initially put off by the idea that this has made him a contender for prom king but soon warms up to the idea as it would mean getting back at Jordan. Paget runs into Jordan and Alden at school, who are now a couple. Alden reveals her true colors to Paget, declaring herself as prom queen. Paget realizes that Alden has been sabotaging her since the breakup. She hadn't hit pause on the stream and made Paget humiliate herself in front of her followers. Alden also reveals that she and Quinn know about how Paget is poor and says that her secret is safe with her. Later, Paget and Quinn talk, and Cameron arrives and apologizes. After school, he shows her the darkroom where he keeps his photographs, and the two of them share a kiss. When Bryn finds out that Paget kissed Cameron, she advises him to ask her to prom in an attempt to ensure Paget's loss. Alden exposes the bets she made with Paget, which makes Cameron, who now believes that Paget only loved him because of the bet, angry. On the day of the prom, Paget's mother wants her to still go and tells her to be the person she's always been and not the person she was before becoming a social influencer. Cameron refuses to go to prom, but Bryn, realizing that her older brother has been smiling for the first time ever since their mother's death and Paget came into his life, persuades him to go. However, he doesn't show up at prom, and Paget declines her role as prom queen. Paget then meets Cameron outside the school, riding on a horse, and kisses him after apologizing. Following the events after the prom, Paget regains her fan following and takes her social media influence in a new direction by traveling to various destinations across the world alongside Cameron, now her devoted boyfriend. This is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching.